So I'm in a bit of a pickle. I found that laser hair removal worked really great, and so I bought 10 sessions, and I used about 6 of them, but then I moved back here. So now I have like $400 worth of sessions at a clinic that's like 2,000 miles away, and I happen to go there once a year, so I'll end up using them. But I don't want to buy any more laser hair removal sessions while I'm here, because I already have those that I bought. I might as well just go back. So, in the meantime, until I happen to be in the California area again, I will tweeze. And I believe I've found a reasonably efficient method for tweezing. So, here is my method for tweezing. First, you have to start by modifying and sharpening your tweezers, because otherwise they're just too big and bulky. And that way you can actually start with like a very cheap $5 pair of tweezers and hone them to exactly what you want. So I've already modified these tweezers once. As you can see, the top tooth, I guess you could say, is thinner than the bottom one, because I've actually shaven off a bit of the metal on the outside. That way, well, since my hair comes out at a very steep angle, it can slide underneath the hair and grab it more easily, whereas this one, the thicker one, always tended to push the hair over. So by doing that, you can more easily access hairs that haven't quite grown very much. Last time I used a file to sharpen it. This would not be a good file for that. I can't find the file that I used. This one has a lot of teeth. What you would want for this are the flat lines. That way it would evenly shave off little bits. But I think this old sanding stone from the 1950s might still work, because I want to work on making this even more sharp. It's actually almost starting to feel like a dull blade now, whereas the other side feels like just almost like a block of metal, like the edge. It actually has an edge, whereas this one has a very, very thin edge. And I'm not modifying the inside, so the mating surface still is the same, although I'm not quite sure if that should be roughed up or not. I find that this smoothish surface actually works pretty well. So really all I did was I just cleaned off, or I scraped off some metal from the outside, and it actually helps quite a bit. Now I would like to point out one modification I've been thinking about doing. Cutting this section, because this is very long and this is very even whenever that meets. And so if a hair gets stuck in there, the hair, even if it's back here, stops the front from gripping some hairs, and so you have to clean out the tweezer very frequently. Now if I were to cut this section out, then any hair back here wouldn't keep the top from closing. Basically I would move this indentation forward, so if it was back here it would, you know, because like hairs, if you're tweezing really fast, because usually you want to pull like maybe 5 or 6 hairs at once, then wash the tweezers, then pull some more. But if you pull a hair and then it gets somehow stuck across here and it's wide enough to stop you from pulling other hairs, it's just infuriating, because then you have to clean it off after one hair and it slows you down. Now the other issue though is that if you have this too thin, then you might actually snap the hairs, because it'd be able to be more like it was pinching them. But with this, at least you can have the hair lay flat and it'll grab onto it. Now we've moved to the bathroom, where we have some big LEDs that output more bluish light, and bluish light allows you to see the hairs more easily. Likewise, if you film in more bluish light, like from fluorescent lamps or whatever, your video is going to look like shit, because it's going to bring out all the bad details. And that's why I have all the yellowish incandescent style lights in my bedroom, so then you don't see as many hairs on video if I have some. I have a little container, a little Tupperware container, half full of water. I set that within reach. I haven't tweezed in a couple days because I've been kind of in a hikikomori. I've been staying inside, mostly staying in bed, watching anime, Sailor Moon, and reading manga, Planet Test. And so, yeah, I have a lot of material for this video. Well, to start off though, I find that my hairs, because I like tweezing every single day, I find that some hairs haven't quite broken through the top layer of skin or something. Either way, I find that taking a dull knife, don't worry, this is asphalt on here, I had to use it to cut some shingles. I go like this, just to rough up the skin a little bit, and I find this helps get some of the hairs like to stand out a bit, because my hairs are very strange that Like imagine this is the surface of skin. The hairs come out at a very steep angle, or shallow angle. Either way, they don't come straight out. They lay down like immediately. And now we can tweeze. Ah, I can actually record through the camera, or through the mirror, whatever. Seven hairs in one go. It's doing pretty good. So at this point, I've tweezed this half of my face, which is just this little section. I'm thankful for laser hair removal. I don't have any other hairs pretty much anywhere else. I have not affected this at all. That way you guys can see what it looked like before as a contrast or a control sample. I don't know. And there are still a few hairs over here, but I deem them untweezable because they would take too much time and too much effort compared to any benefit on my appearance. Plus, I'm just going to be going back to bed and watching Sailor Moon anyway. Well, I mean, yeah, actually I will. So, one other thing, I find it very interesting how when you pull out a hair, it's amazing to think how far the hair goes in, like how deep the hair follicle is. It's kind of creepy because you have like a little bit of a hair sticking out, you pull it and it's like this long thing like that long. You don't think of your skin being that thick. It's so strange, but like we actually do have quite a bit of like armor around our skeletons. Kind of interesting. Kind of creepy too. This is kind of getting, yeah, the redness is mostly going away now. But yeah, that's how it looks now. And that's how it did. I shall tweeze the other side. And that is pretty much it. Usually I wrap this up by shaving a little bit. Put some water on my face. Any of the little hairs. Kind of lucky, whenever I started estrogen and testosterone blockers, any hairs, or little hairs up here, pretty much went away. So that was cool. Oh yeah, and I also sometimes just do that. Because there's a couple hairs up there. That's pretty much it. Pretty happy with it. Makes me feel cleaner because I hate whenever I feel a hair on my face because I touch my face a lot, you know, like that or whatever, but it'll bug me so much if I just feel like a little hair on my face. Oh, and one little trick you can do if you need to save on time, that usually takes about 12 minutes for me to do, which is not that much. I can speed it up a lot more, but nobody really notices any hairs like right here underneath your chin, so, or on your chin, I guess. So you really don't have to worry too much about those. You could skimp a little bit on tweezing that area because it's in the shadows and no one looks at that. Before my gender transition, before I started taking hormones and before I got laser hair removal, I could have not done any of the tweezing. I tried for the longest time, but it took like 2 hours to tweeze because there was like hairs everywhere. It was disgusting. Ugh. Even thinking back on it, it's so fucking strange. So there we have it. Clean face. At least I feel good about it. Although in close inspection you can still see a couple hairs, but no one looks that close anyway. Everyone's always far from me. That sounds lonely. I guess it is kind of lonely anyway. So I'm also filming with my trick, the more yellowish incandescent lighting, so that also helps make me look better in this particular room. But if I go into the kitchen or something like that, then I still look pretty good because there is a lack of hairs. Well, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching. See ya.